El debate consiste en 4 etapas. Vamos a empezar con la primera ronda, que es pues como tomar lista, a lo que le llamamos roll call, y de ahí cada equipo va a presentar su posición ante el debate. El debate se trata sobre la campaña de las antivacunas, del movimiento antivacunas, the Anti-Vaxxer Movement. Aquí tenemos 9 roles. Tenemos a los padres de familia, estudiantes, maestros, hospitales, doctores, empresas de seguros, las redes sociales, las redes sociales y todo lo que tiene que ver con medios de comunicación, farmacias y el gobierno. Esos son los 9 roles que van a estar aquí participando y van a estar exponiendo su posición ante el movimiento antivacunas. Ellos tienen en su presentación les van a exponer cuál es su punto de vista y por qué están a favor o por qué están en contra del movimiento. Esa es la primera fase donde ellos exponen su posición. Después de esa segunda fase entramos a la segunda, que es lo que se le conoce como el caucus moderado, moderate caucus, que es donde cada rol tiene 5 minutos para que el resto de sus compañeros, que son los otros roles, los interroguen sobre su postura. Al final de cuentas, aquí lo que importa es que ellos se mantengan en su posición y que no se doblen ante las preguntas que les puedan hacer y que sepan contestarlas con la mayor facilidad y que puedan. Después de eso se les da un momento, entramos a la tercera etapa del debate, que se le conoce como el moderated caucus, es el no moderado, que es donde ellos tienen la oportunidad de empezar a platicar unos con otros para tratar de llegar a una conclusión o un acuerdo entre todos. Después de que se hace eso, entramos a la cuarta fase y la final, que es la conclusión, que en inglés se le conoce como manifiesto. Aquí ellos van a presentar cuáles fueron sus conclusiones y a qué acuerdos lograron llegar. Se les da más o menos 1 a 2 minutos por equipo para que presenten sus conclusiones y eso cierra el debate. Obviamente que al final de cuentas sí va a haber un ganador. Aquí tenemos a 3 jueces, se los presento. Va a estar nuestra directora general, Miss María Julia Tapia, ella es una de las jueces. También está Miss Rosy Pacheco, dirección secundaria. Perdón, me está diciendo que no, pero aquí está. Ella es observadora, disculpen. Y como segundo juez tenemos a Mr. Pacheco, Miss Carlos Pacheco. Ellos van a estar haciendo la función de jueces y yo voy a estarlos apoyando como moderadora. ¿De acuerdo? Entonces, al final de cuentas, después de todo esto, sí habrá un ganador. Ya les informaremos quién fue. Okay guys, good morning. Welcome to the Anti-Vaxxer Movement debate. The modern anti-vaxxer movement is gaining power despite studies finding that vaccines are not linked to any harmful side effects such as autism. By the year 2000, the United States declared that certain diseases such as measles had been eradicated from the country thanks to vaccines. But 20 years later, doctors are concerned that this is no longer the case. Studies are showing that countries where parents are allowed to choose whether to vaccinate their children or not are becoming disease hotspots for illnesses such as measles, the flu, and polio, among others. What had begun as a French movement is now becoming a powerful media empire. We now have access to anti-vaxxer books and anti-vaxxer movies or documentaries. All the information that is handled worldwide regarding the anti-vaxxer movement has not been proven to be true. But a significant percentage of the world population question the benefits of vaccination and therefore do not give their children any. The anti-vaxxer movement has gained undoubted strength during the past couple of years, and today, different society representatives will debate their perspectives regarding the anti-vaxxer movement to try and reach an understanding among them and their different points of view. Representing doctors, we have Julia and then Margarita. As hospital representatives, we have Jimena and Maria Paula. As pharmacy representatives, we have Diego, Luis Lauro, and Javier. As student representatives, we have Boleta and Isabela. As teachers, Alexa and Grecia. Government representatives, Arturo Odette, Jorge Vela. As insurance companies representatives, we have Luz Regina and Ruben. Representing the media empire, we have Jesus Omar and Luis Alberto. And last but not least, we have Valentina and Raquel as parents representatives. Okay guys, remember, and this is a reminder for you third graders, after the position statements, you are not allowed to clap, okay? This is not over until we have the manifestos, all right? So now we will ask each team to establish their position statement, okay? We will begin with parents. The floor is yours.
Today, the anti-vaxxer movement is growing rapidly. Thanks to advances regarding science and technology, we can have all type of access to any kind of information. We cannot be brainwashed by pharmaceutical campaigns and medical systems. So we're constantly consuming medication that we do not need.
As humans, we have the right to express ourselves. And as parents, we do not want our children to get vaccinated because the main component of vaccines is the actual disease they are trying to prevent. So why should we willingly give children a disease that they would probably never get?
We all know that vaccines have side effects, but do we really know if we're lucky enough to get through them without any severe consequences? Well, vaccines have long and short-term effects, some of them being seizures, fevers, and allergic reactions. In rare cases, side effects of vaccinations have been the death for some infants.
We firmly believe that a healthy lifestyle is the best way to guarantee good health for anyone. And an alternative to accomplish this is to prolong breastfeeding. This simple and natural act is sufficient to convey some immunity for vaccine-preventable disease.
Djibouti is an example to consider. He's a professional athlete which is willing to lose over the tournaments over COVID. He says that as a professional athlete, he really needs to take care of his body. And letting a disease enter his body is not an option, a disease that we do not know. Djibouti, as many other people, are concerned about the side effects of vaccination and wonder if being vaccinated is the best way to get help.
Everybody has the right to get vaccinated once they reach adulthood and they decide if they want to take the risk of vaccination or not. But before that, our job as parents is to take care of our children from harm. Sadly, we know little about vaccines because the medical system uses people's health as a mean for COVID. So as long as information is not clear, we should not risk our children's health. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, parents. Your time was 2 minutes and 36 seconds. We should add the 5 seconds I took, so it's 2:40, more or less. Okay, guys, I'm going to for a big favor. Please put your face mask off. I know we told you because of the microphone, but please put your face mask off so that we can hear you better, okay? Yes, just take it off, not like hanging here, because your ears are gonna get hurt, all right? Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to ask the students to please establish their position statement. The floor is yours.
We will now begin. We are students and we are in favor of the anti-vaxxer movement. We don't want to get vaccinated due to this has been around for very long and we cannot trust the government. We don't know what they're going to put inside our bodies and we find it very scary. We should have the liberty to choose whether we get vaccinated or not, and it shouldn't affect our daily life decisions. Some side effects of getting any vaccine are tiredness, mild fever, chills, headache, muscle ache, feeling nauseous, and a lot of more. So is it really worth it to get a vaccine and have all those side effects? I don't think so. Some parents don't want to vaccinate their kids because they are scared of the side effects, and maybe the person who applies the vaccine will apply it wrong, and that can affect the child. We think that hospitals apply vaccines just to take our money, like maybe they don't even know what it is in a syringe, and they are just trying to experiment with us without us knowing. So our solution is to use herbal medicine. Throughout the years, there have been a lot of diseases, and people cure them perfectly fine using herbal medicine.
Herbal medicine is the use of plants to treat disease and change general health and well-being. Herbs can interact with other pharmacy medications, and these should be taken with the same level of care. Herbal medicine has been around for many years. This is the process of getting cured from plants and being healthy. It has been proved that some herbal medicine have the same power as pharmacy medicine and should be taken with the same level of caution. Some of the world's most known herbal medicines are ginger, ginkgo, hypericum, valerian, turmeric, echinacea, and turmeric. Ginkgo is a herbal medicine that comes from the roots of the plants. These are steeped to make a tea or are converted into powder. Ginger is a commonly known ingredient. We usually drink it in teas, and you can eat it dry or fresh. Jameson West is a herbal medicine that comes from the plants. These are a flower, its petals, you can use it to convert it into teas, and also you can eat it dry or fresh. Our solution would be to use herbal medicine because we know what it has inside of it, and it's made out of all natural things, and we find it a lot of benefits. In other cases, vaccines, people have died from vaccines, and we don't want to take the risk of not actually getting cured and putting things inside our body that we don't know what it has inside of it. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, students. Your time was 2 minutes and 56 seconds. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, I'm going to ask you to please sit properly, okay? Because remember, we can see your legs. Yes, okay? All right, thank you very much. Teachers, it's your turn to establish your position statement. The floor is yours.
We will now begin our presentation. Us as teachers, we're against the anti-vaxxer movement. Since the beginning, this movement has enhanced more deaths and more sicknesses because people do not want to get vaccinated.
As teachers, we believe that our students with parents who do not want to get them vaccinated are putting them and our students' health in danger. We cannot do much to change the mindset of the people who are in favor of this situation. But the only thing we can do is teach our students which are the real facts of the vaccination in hopes of making any changes for their future.
One of the main reasons why people do not want to get vaccinated is because they say it puts bodies at risk. Since the vaccine itself contains a small amount of the sickness it is trying to prevent. Scientists and doctors say this is the way the vaccine works, because the small amount it contains helps our immune system fight off the disease and makes it stronger.
We could say that some parents are being selfish by not providing their children with proper health care. These children become students who will be exposed to diseases sooner or later. In 2021, people will get automatically vaccinated, and because of this, disease cases began to decrease. People then began thinking that it was no longer necessary to get vaccinated anymore, and because many diseases were believed to be eradicated.
Not getting vaccinated only makes people more vulnerable to get sick easier and faster. We spend a lot of time with students who are not vaccinated, but it is a fact that if one of these students gets sick with one of the most contagious diseases out there, they're not only putting themselves in danger, but also the people who are near them.
We respect the parents' decisions, but every student should be checked by a doctor, and if the student is sick,
He or she will respect and follow the preventive health measures established by medical superiors. Some of those measures being wearing a face mask, washing their hands constantly, and keeping safe distance, just like what happened with COVID-19 pandemic.
We teach our students to take care so they can be healthy. Our proposal is that our students are taught in school at least twice a month about disease prevention. That way, when they reach adulthood, they will have their own thoughts and they'll make their own decisions about what they learned at school.
Like Dr. Ford said, if a vaccinated person gets infected, the virus will have a battle on its hands. Since the vaccine has primed the vaccinated person with robust immune defenses that can shut down the virus before it has a chance to get very far. Even with the variants, the vaccine will still have a high efficiency in protecting people from severe diseases and hospitalization. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, teachers. You may take a seat. Your time was 2 minutes and 52 seconds. Okay, hospitals, the floor is now open for you.
We are ready to begin our presentation. Good morning. We are here as representatives of hospitals around the world, and we are against the anti-vaxxer movement. The reason we are against this movement is because it tries to force and influence people's decisions about getting vaccinated or not. Vaccines have been described as one of the 10 top achievements in public health. They are free for whomever wants to get them as a resource for a healthier life. In 1970, because of low vaccination rates, 3 major epidemics of whooping cough increased. Vaccines weren't proved to reduce any risk they can produce. They are actually helpful for people because they help you battle out diseases and viruses that can be mortal to your organism. They teach the immune system the creation of antibodies, and it is safer to learn this through vaccination than from actually getting the disease. They also help you avoid spreading preventable diseases to other people. Vaccines can make the difference between life and death. They do not cause diseases. They save lives. They protect everyone and protect future generations. There's a phrase that says there are more vaccinated than unvaccinated people get sick. However, this is a lie, because there's more vaccinated than unvaccinated people in the world. This means there's a 2 to 100% probability that unvaccinated people get sick. On the other hand, only 2% of the vaccinated people have a probability of getting the actual disease. Vaccines reduce the risk of diseases by giving you a small dose of it, which helps you with the simulation of the creation of antibodies, which protects your immune system.
Vaccines protect our community, young and old. One of the first cases where vaccines were helpful was in the smallpox outbreak. This illness affected your body by giving you headaches, sore throat, vomiting, fever, raised rash, and a scab forming in your throat, mouth, and nose. This illness was transmitted by close contact, contaminating bedding and clothing, and you were still contagious until the last scab was removed from your body. The 30% of the people who got this illness were reported dead, most of them after their second week. This means that more than 300 million people died from this illness during the 20th century. However, the people who got to outlive this illness were health damaged for life. This means that they had permanent scarring, loss of lip, ear, and nose tissue, and some of them even ended up getting blind. Campaigns to get vaccinated against this illness started in the 1960s and the 1970s, and as a result, the last case of wild smallpox was in the 1977. These vaccines helped save lots of lives that could have been lost thanks to one illness. Our proposal is a campaign of free will. This means everyone has the right to decide if they get vaccinated or not, and other people should not influence or force them into changing their ideals. But we as hospitals will grant flyers with information and history about vaccinations, and our doctors will be available 24/7 to answer whichever question you may have about vaccines and vaccination. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you, hospitals. Your time was 3 minutes and 18 seconds. Okay? All right. Doctors, the floor is yours.
Good morning. We will now establish our position statement.
Us as doctors, we're against anti-vaxxer movement. It is because anti-vaxxer movement that diseases have resurfaced. Some of them including smallpox, salmonella, diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, among many others. Diseases that were eradicated are once again a threat to people who are not being properly vaccinated.
Vaccines are meant to prevent diseases. Vaccines are a simple, safe, and effective way of protecting people against diseases. When vaccinated, the human body defenses begin to build resistance against the organisms responsible for developing diseases. This process boosts the human immune system and makes it stronger.
When a person becomes sick, the human body is not prepared to attack the bacteria that causes the disease that is causing the sickness. Researchers have proved that vaccines are the only way to guarantee us protection from those kinds of diseases. It is the recommended thing to do for your health. Besides, it helps you gain antigens that protect you from those diseases.
Lately, people have determined that there are some negative factors against vaccines. Many people distrust doctors, and some others have great sensibility regarding the world they live in. We live in a globalized world where information is just a click away. The worrying part about everyone having access to information is that they're most of the time misguided.
Anti-vaxxer movement and all in favor of it have made people believe that vaccines are not good for us. But have you ever taken some time to think, how do they know so much about vaccines? Is that information true? Are they saying all of that just to win some money? Among many other questions. Anti-vaxxer movement have made people believe that vaccines will only hurt more our body. But if you don't believe us doctors who have studied and know more about this topic, why are you believing them? We understand people are afraid because they don't know what does the vaccine contains or their side effects. But we don't understand why do you believe more to social media than to us doctors, researchers, and actual organizations.
As doctors, we believe that a way to fix this issue is to build up campaigns in which doctors promote and share actual and true information about vaccines and their side effects. This way, doctors could be given a chance to explain in detail the positive and negative effects of any given vaccine that is being administered during the campaign. With the help of all you here, we could look for a way to provide hospitals with different vaccines that could be administered freely to everyone who wishes to be vaccinated.
Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, doctors. Your time was 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Okay, now insurance companies, the floor is yours.
We will now begin our presentation. We, insurance company, are in favor of the anti-vaxxer movement. People getting sick benefit from insurance company because they have to go to the hospital in order to get better. For a person to be able to pay hospital bill, they have to buy insurance. Otherwise, their debt will increase, creating an ideal situation for insurance companies.
A vaccine is a biological mixture that helps a person acquire immunity for a malignant disease. Many people have trouble developing the kind of immunity necessary to fight off the bacteria of the vaccine they receive. Vaccines affect body system, including heart, lungs, kidneys, and many others. Some people have severe allergic reactions to vaccines.
Even though technology and medicine have achieved great advances, a vaccine does not guarantee complete immunity against a disease. So why risking yourself and others to the side effects of the vaccine can provoke?
The death of citizens caused by COVID-19 has caused the economy to decrease by 40%. With no money flow, people cannot afford hospitals, doctors, nurses, or other things related to health. With people dying, businesses are struggling because they do not have enough staff to cover the position between. This has led many enterprises to declare bankruptcy.
By standing for the anti-vaxxer movement, insurance company can promote the acquisition for insurance that cover hospital expenses for all those who generally get sick and need medical attention. We insurance companies propose other ways of taking care of yourselves having to vaccinate it. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, insurance companies. Your time was 1 minute and 48 seconds. I just want to remind you, please take your face masks off, okay? So we can hear you clearly when you're speaking. All right? Okay? Media, we're ready for you. The floor is open.
Good morning. We are representing all media sources. To name a few, we are YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and our communication sources. We are responsible for the spread of information throughout the globe. Thanks to the mass media spread and globalization, it is easy to reach the corners of all the world. We are here to establish that we are in favor of the anti-vaxxer movement. The anti-vaxxer movement uses media to spread their vision. The anti-vaxxer movement's sole purpose is to find the truth behind the components and the chemical components used in the productions of vaccines around the world. Therefore, the anti-vaxxer movement encourages research.
Different studies have found that 72% of adult internet users have gone online to research information regarding health issues. 26% say they have experienced health issues in the past 12 months, and other 16% say they have experienced those same health issues, and they have researched for them. This with the fact that 58 million followers of anti-vax movement are spread across the social media. With this fact, we can conclude that these studies encourages research. So, these studies use social media propagation to reach the study population. Together with this, anti-vaxxers are better positioned on social media to target clusters of vaccine undecided individuals and inform them about vaccines and anti-vax movement, and do so with greater efficiency than the pro-vax groups. This should not be surprising, as evidence suggests that vaccine undecided individuals found very attractive the anti-vaccine information that is online.
With these hard facts, we can easily prove that the anti-vaccination supporters are more engaged in discussions on Twitter and share their content from a pool of strong influencers. With a community based on content produced by a small fraction of profiles, with a community as large serving as a sounding board of anti-vaccination discourse to circulate online. We would like to take advantage of this time to put forward some proposals to improve the communication strategy of health organization and to build a communication engaged by influencers that support the dissemination of scientific insight.
Based on these results, we welcome policies that aim at halting the circulation of false information about vaccines. Obviously, we cannot control the will of the people to share information in the social media. But what we can control is the most likely information and sites on the internet that can be recommended to the people. So we can make those more likely for them to be more accurate. This solution it's good, but it does not fix the health part of not using vaccines. So we would like all pharmacies to share and have the information at hand when it is asked, and have them in aside on all pharmacies. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Miriam. Your time was 4 minutes and 28 seconds. Okay, pharmacies, the floor is yours.
Hello, we are the pharmacies, and we will now begin our presentation.
Why are we talking about this, you may ask? Well, vaccines are the most essential and quick way to get medication out there. We strongly advise everyone to get vaccinated because some of the bacteria and the illnesses are still out there.
Vaccines do not cause autism, do not overload or weaken the immune system, and do not have ingredients that cause harm in such small amounts.
Vaccines contain viruses in them. Some people because they think that they can get sick with a vaccine, but this is false because this is possible because vaccines contain a very small amount of the virus they are protecting you from. Some also claim that vaccines weaken the immune system. This is actually the opposite. Vaccines strengthen the immune system by administering dead viruses. The body will analyze that dead virus so it can be prepared to fight it. Some also claim that vaccines can cause autism. This is false because scientists have studied vaccines and find no link between autism and vaccines. There are also claims that vaccines contain mercury, which is a metal that can be harmful for our health. Although some vaccines contain mercury, not all of them. And the vaccines that contain mercury have a very small dose that cannot harm you in any way. Also, there are claims that vaccines contain microchips or tracking technology. There is no evidence to show that vaccines contain any type of tracking technology.
The reason why we're against it is because global travel is the one thing that makes it easier for the diseases to spread. This is why we strongly advise everyone to get vaccinated because it's increasing the risk of the virus or the disease to spread really fast.
Vaccination can mean life or death because when you don't vaccinate, you risk yourself to get a disease. Vaccination is one of the safest and most convenient preventive measures available.
Young people and healthy adults can still get the disease even when not vaccinated. It's mostly infants and older adults who get the increased risk of getting the disease.
Vaccines are overall very important for everyone because they create antibodies and protein that protects us against a disease. Vaccination does not only benefit you, but others around you by preventing a disease from spreading.
Certain vaccines are required for work, school, or sports, mostly close encounters. This is because it has an increased risk whenever you're around someone and it can spread the disease really fast. So when you get vaccinated, it always lowers the risk of it spreading that easily.
Our proposal to solve this issue is to provide proper education about vaccines and their benefits. We also suggest that people who don't want to vaccinate themselves wear a face mask. Even if we are in favor of vaccines, we cannot force everyone to use them. However, we do not want people to not vaccinate themselves because of misinformation. That is why we want to provide the truth and hard facts about vaccines. We will also continue to provide free vaccination campaigns to all citizens. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, pharmacies. Your time was 4 minutes and 23 seconds. Okay, and last but not least, we have the government. The floor is open. Government, you may establish your position statement.
Good morning, everyone. We are the government and we are here to establish our position statement. We as the government are concerned of the damage that the anti-vaxxer movement has made on the population. The problem that had already been solved is coming back. Diseases that were already eradicated or controlled are coming back.
This movement especially affects children because their immune system is not fully developed. This means that they are the ones that most need vaccines to protect themselves from harmful and sometimes lethal disease. Without vaccines, we are unable to provide them with the protection they need.
We are against the anti-vaxxer movement because we believe it has no proper foundation to exist. Vaccines are only provided to people to promote public safety and security. By getting a vaccine, you're not only protecting yourself, but you're protecting the community around you.
You're also preventing a disease from spreading. The anti-vaxxer movement is putting society in danger. It is a fact that today we live in a globalized environment where international traveling is accessible for everyone. Therefore, a disease can spread worldwide just as easily.
We are also concerned that as the anti-vaxxer movement grows, it is giving the health sector a wrong image. People believe that doctors and medicines only target them to profit from them. So they rather fight a disease by themselves or using other alternatives rather than getting proper medical attention.
Our proposal is to eradicate or eliminate the misconception that vaccines and medicines only exist to make profit for the health system. Also, we would like to continue making campaigns that offer free vaccination for people who are willing to get free vaccines.
With the creation of this campaign and making it optional for everyone, we hope to give everyone the liberty to decide if they want to get vaccinated or not. By doing this, we hope to see a higher number of people getting vaccinated.
We would also like to address international traveling. We would like to apply some restrictions for those who are unvaccinated cannot travel without proper vaccinations. This is to avoid a disease that is now resurfacing from spreading worldwide.
We would also like for owners of private businesses to deny access to people who are not properly vaccinated. As well, people who are not vaccinated must wear face masks at all times. They must also attend to frequent medical checkups to ensure they are in proper medical conditions.
These proposals aim to get more people vaccinated and promote public health.
We also mean to get more people understand that vaccines were created to guarantee good health to every human being and to regain their trust in the medical system.
Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, government. Your time was 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Okay, having established all position statements, we will now begin with the second phase of the debate, which is the moderated caucus. Remember that each team, each representative group will have 5 minutes to answer questions, okay? So delegates, please prepare your questions. We will begin the round clockwise, okay? Right. Are there any questions on the floor? Okay, pharmacies.
Why do you think that vaccines cause more harm than good?
Bye.
Time is going.
Because we're not supposed to be vaccinated because it's a disease that we do not know and we do not need right now. So why should I be vaccinated?
Okay. Doctors?
You don't really have a way to fix this issue. The fact that you give us an argument and a conclusion is not the solution to this problem. How can you argue that a way to fix this issue is not getting vaccinated if you don't have any real information about this topic?
Delegates are reminded to please take off your face masks whenever you're going to speak in the microphone because we can understand what you say, okay? Thank you.
Could you repeat, please?
You don't really have a way to fix this issue. The fact that you give us an argument and a conclusion is not the solution to this problem. How can you argue that a way to fix this issue is not getting vaccinated if you don't have any real information about this topic?
We actually have an organization, AAP, which is an American Academy of Pediatrics, that says that breastfeeding can help protect the babies against some short and long-term illnesses, diseases. So breastfeeding is a perfect for take out the vaccination.
Remember to raise the microphone, okay? Okay, hospitals?
Since you're parents and you have kids, would you rather your kid dying from a preventable disease than having a few side effects for a day if you want to really protect them?
This will not happen because breastfeeding gives you immunity, helps you with the immunity and your system. Besides, it shares antibiotics from the mother that will help the baby. And these antibiotics help the baby develop a strong immune system and protect them from any illnesses.
Okay, thank you. Doctors again?
We found out that breastfeeding does work to keep you protected from viruses, but we also found out that it makes your defenses weaker. So how can you stay with that solution if instead of helping us, it affects more your future?
Which organization backs up your information?
It's actually information we found from an MIT organization.
The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends breastfeeding to help the immune system.
Okay, thank you. Now we have the government. After government, we have teachers, then pharmacies, and hospitals, okay? Government, please.
Breastfeeding is recommended from 6 months to 2 years old. Do you know if breastfeeding after that age might have a side effect?
It doesn't because it gives you nutrition. So it has, we already told you, it doesn't care if you give more or less. And if you just want to, it's okay, but it doesn't have any side effects.
Do you have any scientific research to background that statement?
The AAP, the American Academy of Pediatrics.
Thank you, government. Teachers, please establish your question.
researched about breastfeeding and we found out that it could cause obesity and other illnesses. So how do you think the solution will not cause more health problems?
Actually, breastfeeding helps to lower risk of asthma, obesity, type 1 diabetes, and sudden infarct death syndrome.
Okay, I'm sorry, time's up. Your 5 minutes are over. Thank you very much. Okay, now remember, each one of you gets 5 minutes, okay? So if you want to ask a question, raise your hands and we will make the flow. Remember that the faster you answer the questions, the more time you get, okay? All right, students, it's your time. Your time begins now. Remember your face masks, guys. We need to listen. If you have the face mask on, we can't listen to your words, okay? So, I'm starting the clock. We're beginning with doctors.
You talked about herbal medicine. Herbal medicine does not work as well as vaccines or medicine in general. How are you sure that herbal medicine will not hurt more your body than any other vaccines?
Because herbal medicine is a natural things, and natural things will not affect your body like chemicals and other things.
It has been proved that throughout the whole history, it had always been used herbal medicine, and natural things cannot harm you.
Okay, hospitals?
If we also vaccinate at schools and you say that we do it for money, why would we vaccinate students that almost don't have any money?
Can you repeat the question?
If we vaccinate students at schools that waste their money in other things, and you say that we only do it for money, why would we vaccinate students who don't have money?
Because even if you wanted to or not, the government forces you to put it inside schools. So you can go to school, you have to be vaccinated.
Yes, but we wouldn't be making any money out of it, like you said.
Okay, thank you, hospitals. Now it's pharmacies.
What do schools teach you about vaccines?
Can you repeat the question?
What do schools teach you about vaccines?
By the way, we didn't talk about that. That question doesn't have to do anything with us.
Okay, thank you. Pharmacies, if you have another question, raise your hand, okay? Then we have government.
Considering the thing you said about you being afraid in your position statement, have you considered do you know when was the last time a vaccine gave someone a serious side effect?
Well, when COVID was around in 2021, when it first started.
Does herbal medicine can help you fight a vaccine like tetanus, smallpox, or polio?
Yes, because in our research, it has been proved that herbal medicine has the same power as pharmaceutical medicine.
Can you tell us where does this information come from?
In anti-vaxxer sites,
Okay, thank you, government. You have to wait for your second round. Okay. Insurance, it's your turn.
What scares you about the vaccine?
The side effects,
What are the side effects?
like all the side effects like tiredness, fever, headaches. Like they sound really like low, but in the moment they are like strong. Like they hit you strong with the vaccine.
Thank you, insurance. Teachers.
How do you know that the vaccines made with herbs or that are made naturally are going to last long enough to keep you protected as the actual vaccines do?
It might not be long to last long enough, but it won't give us the side effects that the vaccine gives us. And people have actually died from the vaccine due that it's very strong.
Herbal products cause negative effects such as headaches, allergic reactions, dizziness, and even seizures. How can you make sure this won't happen to whoever chooses this over vaccines?
The herbal medicine does not have any side effects because, well, they are natural things, and natural things do not affect your body in a bad way.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, your time is up. Thank you very much, students. Okay, now it's the turn for the teachers. Your 5 minutes are on the clock. Okay, who wants to establish questions?
Would you like to work with doctors, hospitals, and pharmacies to get your students a better quality information about vaccines?
We would like to work with them so we can teach our students about what the vaccines have in them and how they help with their health. And also in the future, they will know what's right to do.
Guys, we need you to sit properly, okay? Remember, we can see your legs. Okay, next up is hospitals.
Is it okay if with the approval of parents we vaccinate kids during campaigns on your schools?
Can you repeat the question?
Is it okay if with the approval of the parents we vaccinate kids during campaigns on schools?
Yes, it's okay for us.
Okay, thank you. Pharmacies. First pharmacies, then your meeting.
Help us educate the students about vaccines.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Can you help us educate the students about vaccines?
Yes, we will help you teaching the students. That's our proposal.
Thank you. Okay, now it's turn for media.
How are you going to manage that students check twice a month?
We will take courses about this topic, and we will also have specialists as well.
Thank you, media. Doctors.
We could provide free checkups each month for your students. What is your opinion on that? It is okay, so you can help us so parents can have better idea of the doctors and what is happening with the situation.
Thank you, doctors. Hospitals.
We would like to ask you about the campaigns of information you want to make. What would hospitals could give you so you can give them?
That you give us doctors and the vaccines.
Thank you, hospitals, parents.
You're not making propaganda and violating human rights by teaching students about vaccines. It's not right because it's like teaching them about religion and instilling them an opinion.
We would like to make a subject about this, and we will respect everyone's religion, so we will not obligate anyone to get the vaccine, but we will teach them about this.
You're not making ideals to students in that case?
This will be only, we will give information to students, and they will decide if they want to get the vaccine or not.
But that might influence their opinion about vaccines.
But we're teaching the students, like, it's gonna be a subject if it's approved to the government, and it's not like we're forcing them to do that. We're only informing the students what's really happening and the real facts.
I'm sorry, time is up. Okay, thank you very much, teachers. Now is the turn for the hospitals. We will start the round of questions. We start with government, then doctors, then, who was it?
So, government. Is it possible that when a vaccine is applied to the public, this might malfunction or not work as expected?
Well, this is not very possible because vaccines go through a process of experimentation because before they go out to the public. So it's not common at all.
Thank you, government. Doctors?
We would like to be there to assist in hospitals to help anyone who needs help at any time. What do you think we can do to work together and have positive outcomes?
We could have night shifts and, day shift, and not to be the same doctors all day so you don't get that tired.
Thank you, doctors. Next, we have parents.
In the past, they used natural medicines. Why have it changed?
Can you repeat?
In the past, they used natural medicine. Why did it change?
Because it was not being very effective and a lot of people were dying. Like in the example we gave about smallpox, more than 300 million people died and they were using herbal medicine as well. So it was not effective.
Thank you, parents. Pharmacies?
Could there be a way in which everyone actually knows that they will get free access to vaccines?
The campaigns and the flyers that we're going to give to people.
Thank you, pharmacies. Media?
On your position, you say that the movement forced people and influenced them to not get vaccinated. Inflation, influenciation. Inflation is not a factor that we can let pass. So it's going to continue happening. But the fact that it forced people to not get vaccinated, it's perhaps a bit controversial, since a lot of propositions here tell that they are planning to give free will to every person to get vaccinated. How would you respond to that?
So there are people forcing others to not get vaccinated, and this is because of all the fake news that we have about vaccines. And some people have a lot of problem accepting others don't have the same opinion, so that might have many problems. And we want to make free will so everyone can make that decision. And well, since you're media, you should also be taking care of the fake news, because you're generating lots of problems in our population.
And are you willing to?
I'm sorry, media, it's your time's up. If you want to ask another question, you need to raise your hand. Thank you. Teachers, you're next.
Is there a campaign where we as teachers can contribute with?
The campaigns for vaccines and where they inform can go to your schools, and that's how you can contribute with it.
Thank you. Insurance?
Who is paying for your free campaigns? Who is paying for your free campaigns?
The government is going to help us pay these campaigns.
I'm sorry, people. The 5 minutes are up. Thank you. Okay, now we continue with doctors. So we can establish the first round. We start with parents, then we have students, then government.
You give a bunch of drugs to small kids since the moment in which they get sick, so you're constantly drugging kids. It's not some by means of profit by making our body dependent from drugs.
Well, we moderate drugs on kids because obviously we're not giving kids the same drugs that we give to adults. So yeah, we do moderate the drugs in kids.
Okay, thank you, parents. Students?
You say we should trust you because you studied medicine and you know about the thing. But even if you knew or not, you are not the ones who are responsible for putting the vaccine in whatever hospital you work on. Like, if they tell you to put the vaccines, you need to put them.
We don't make the vaccines, but we do know what does it contain and how are they going to be the side effects to the body of the people. So we know that we're not hurting them. We're just trying to help them to be protected from the diseases that surround us.
Thank you, doctors. Remember that if you have another question, you need to raise your hand again, okay? All right, next up, we have the government.
Doctors, are you willing to take the time periodically to start and promote campaigns that promote the correct information about vaccines to prevent misinformation and also to give free vaccination to people?
Yes, that would make our proposal true and actually help people, and with the help of you, we could really help other people.
And give them the true information.
Thank you. Government, if you want to ask another question, you need to raise your hand again, okay? Hospitals.
In a position statement, there was mentioned that some illness that were eradicated were coming back. What's your opinion on that topic?
We believe that those diseases shouldn't come again. If people were getting vaccinated how they should, those diseases were not going to come back. But the anti-vaxxer movement has made that impossible for people to get vaccinated.
Thank you, hospitals, teachers.
We propose that you give us courses about this topic so we can give our students these classes. Do you agree?
Yes, we do agree.
It will help us educate new generations to know about vaccines and how do they help us.
Thank you, teachers. Parents?
Why should we put our child's health in hands of a stranger? Even though you believe we're a stranger, we know how does the body compose and we know what do they have and what do we give to them. If you don't want to believe us, well, that's on you, but we try to make the best that we can to help other people.
Thank you, parents. Remember, if you have another question, you need to raise your hand, okay?
Teacher, it's not a question.
You still have to raise your hand again, okay? Thank you. Pharmacies. No, sorry. Hospitals and then pharmacies.
Can you confirm that most people who get sick are unvaccinated than the ones that are vaccinated? Can you reassure that more unvaccinated people get sick than the ones that are vaccinated?
Yes, we can confirm it. We actually found out an article from Harvard medicine school that said that 20% of the people only 20% of the people in the United States get vaccinated and the other 80% don't get vaccinated, so they get sicker quickly and they have the diseases.
Thank you, hospitals. Now we have the pharmacies.
How could we partner up with you to teach people about vaccines?
Well, you could provide to us and share to us and help us with the information and the vaccines and more medicine for people who wishes to vaccinate it and wishes to get more information about it.
Thank you very much. Doctors, your time is up. Okay, now we will continue with the insurance companies. And we will begin the round, having the government and then parents.
By avoiding vaccination, you are promoting the hospital expenses themselves, meaning that you want people to get diseased. Are you trying to benefit public health or are you just trying to sell your insurance?
The face masks, please.
Public health.
So why do you think that not getting vaccinated is the best option?
Because many people are getting the side effects of the vaccine, with not insurance, you cannot pay, and many of the people have not paid the insurance. They have debt.
Okay, thank you, government. Remember, if you have another question, please raise your hand. Next one, parents.
What do you do with the money you earn from insurance?
Repeat it again, please.
What do you do with the money you earn from insurance?
We make sure to lower the prices of the hospital bills, so you only have to pay, deductibles.
Thank you, parents. Hospitals.
Aren't you you concerned about how people that are truly vaccinated may notice that you're promoting a campaign against vaccination so you can make more money?
Can you repeat again, please?
Aren't you concerned that people who are vaccinated may notice that you are promoting a campaign against vaccination so you can make more money?
We never mentioned that we're doing a campaign.
You are promoting, and since you are promoting and you are insurance companies, you need media. And if you are with media to promote insurance companies because of people that are not vaccinated, it's technically a campaign.
Remember, hospitals, if you have another statement, you need to raise your hands again. Okay? Thank you. Doctors?
You are proposing people to not get vaccinated because you believe that they will just hurt more their body. But if you see that people dies every day of those kinds of diseases, why are you proposing that?
Because the vaccine gives you immunity that not many people cannot like have or like resist. So it causes you, in some cases, more diseases than what will cause you not getting vaccinated.
Thank you. Pharmacies?
Do you prefer that people get sick so you can make more profit?
No, because if people keep dying, like we just said in our position statement, we will not have staff, so we will not have profit.
Thank you. Parents?
As parents, we know there is many medical expenses. How can we work together for a better outcome?
I'm sorry, time's up. Okay, next round. We have media. And we will begin the round establishing with government, then doctors, then hospitals.
The anti-vaxxer movement has promoted a lot of fake information. Do you think it really benefits scientific research from this information?
As we say in our proposal, we are willing to manage that information, not by silencing people, but to recommend the real information in the social media.
Okay, then we have doctors.
If you're responsible of spreading information, why are you spreading the wrong information?
That's what we're trying to change. We know there's a lot of false information, and we know this movement has spread a lot of false information, but we're trying to spread the real information instead.
Thank you, doctors. Then we have hospitals.
Don't you care you're making money of the cost of human lives?
Can you repeat the question?
Don't you care you're making money for the cost of human lives?
We're trying to change that, and the money that we're receiving, we're going to use it as we said in our proposal, for information in pharmacies, and with the gain of information about alternatives to medicine, and not to medicine but to vaccines.
Then why are you in favor of the anti-vaxxer movement?
Because we believe in free will of people, and on the consciousness that the people can have of information and all things that affect them.
Thank you, hospitals. Remember, if you have a second question, please raise your hands. All right, parents.
We as parents think that with the correct help we can inform people. So what is your proposal to get together and inform other people?
We plan to help and encourage other alternatives to medicine, plus giving more good information and good web pages that give good information.
Thank you, parents. Teachers.
How are you going to expose or inform the people about what the vaccine contains if you don't have scientific information about what it contains?
Can you repeat the question?
How are you going to expose or inform the people about what the vaccine contains if you don't have scientific information about what it contains?
That's why we're trying to ally with pharmacies and with medical institutions, but not to compete with them.
Thank you. Pharmacies.
How do you plan on stopping misinformation on the internet?
As you know, we as social media can control the recommendations that appear, as for example, the first page on Google, or the videos on YouTube, or the post on Instagram, and so on. We plan to control that and not to deny or prevent people from publishing whatever they want.
Thank you, Miriam. Your time is up. Please take a seat. We will now begin the round for the pharmacies, starting with students, then it was hospitals, students, hospitals, doctors, government, and parents. Teachers, after parents. Okay, you may, the time is on the clock.
You said that we should not use medicines and use vaccines instead, because it's the fastest way, but maybe the fastest way is not the best way. And we should use medicines because maybe it takes more time, but it's more effective, because the way that the vaccines act really fast, the body cannot process it, and that's when people die from the vaccines.
Can you repeat that question?
That why is it better to use vaccines instead of medicines when vaccines, the way they act really fast, the body cannot process it, and that's when people die.
Vaccines are not meant to cure you from the disease. They are meant to prevent from the disease. And there's no herb medicine that can do that right now.
But we're talking about the side effects that it gives you. When you suffer all the side effects from it.
Can you repeat the question?
We're talking about the side effects that it gives you. Like the people that has died from the side effects of the vaccine.
Vaccines don't have side effects and do not have ingredients that cause harm.
Thank you, students. Remember that if you have another question, you must raise your hand again. Hospitals?
What is your opinion about what they say that we as hospitals, doctors, and pharmacies only do the vaccination process for money?
We think that is a lie because vaccination campaigns are free and available to all people.
Thank you, hospitals. Doctors?
How could we help you promote vaccines for everyone?
You could help us by giving us more information about what vaccines contain and helping people or convince them that vaccines don't cause harm.
Thank you, doctors. Government?
So, pharmacists. The students said herbal medicines have no effects because they are natural. Is this actually true?
There exist some plants that can be harmful for your health, so maybe herb medicine can also have side effects that we are not sure about.
Thank you. Remember, government, if you have another question, please raise your hand. Parents?
Why have medicine's cost has increased?
Because of COVID, many of the ingredients in the vaccine have risen in cost.
Thank you. Teachers?
How can we help you on teaching students about vaccines and the benefits?
Can you repeat that question?
How can we help you on teaching students about vaccines and the benefits?
We can provide you with the information that we have about vaccines, and you can teach them on classes.
Okay, thank you. Time is up. Thank you, pharmacies. And last but not least, we have the government on the floor. We will begin with doctors, then hospitals, then parents.
We want to build up campaigns each 2 months in which people can get vaccinated. Will you be willing to help us?
Yes, we are willing to support, fund, and help you in your campaigns.
Thank you. Hospital?
What do you think about the fake news about vaccinations that are going around, and what can you do about it?
We think that it's a real problem that is causing real damage to how people think about the medical system. So that's why we hope to work along teachers, hospitals, doctors, and pharmacies so that people can have more trustworthy information.
Thank you. Then we have parents.
Are not you restricting human rights and a little racist, but not letting people travel just by not being vaccinated?
We are not discriminating because the right of one person ends when the right of other begins.
Okay, thank you, teachers.
We propose to make a new subject in which we teach students about diseases and how to be protected from them. What do you think of this proposal?
We think it's a good proposal because in this way students will learn more and will be more informed to take their decisions in case they want or not to vaccinate. So yes, we support your idea.
Thank you, teachers. Insurance, please.
If you're giving the choice to liberty to wanna get vaccinated or not, why are you denying people to travel if they are safety and don't have any vaccine?
Could you repeat your question, please?
If you are giving the liberty to choose if they want to get vaccinated or not, why are you denying people to travel if they are safety and if they have any vaccine?
We are trying to promote public health, so we are denying them this access so that it doesn't become a bigger problem and it spreads the disease even more.
Okay, thank you, insurance. Pharmacies.
Should there be restrictions to those who are unvaccinated?
We think that there should be some restrictions for people that are unvaccinated so that they don't damage the rest of the population, like the using of face masks.
Thank you, pharmacies. Hospitals.
Do you think that the people who work at the government should be vaccinated?
Yes, because they have to set an example to the population because besides they have to take care of themselves.
Thank you, hospitals. Parents.
According to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the Article 13 says that everyone has the right to move freely and choose their residence. Everyone has the right to go to another country whenever they want.
Saved by the bell. Okay, time's up. Thank you, delegates. That ends the second round for the moderator caucus. Now we will begin the third and final round of this debate, which is the unmoderated caucus and your manifestos. Starting this moment, you guys get 15 minutes, okay? Divided into blocks. You get 5 minutes to mingle around so you can have your unmoderated caucus, and then you will have 10 minutes so you can establish your manifesto. Once the time is up, each team will get 1 minute to establish your manifesto out loud, okay? So, that being said, we're setting 15 minutes on the clock. I will let you know when the first 5 minutes are up.
Hearing everyone's position statement and listening to each other's opinion, we decided to believe that the best option is to respect everyone's opinion. We will never end this discussion with all of us thinking differently.
According to the Article 24 of the National Constitution, ethical convictions, compliance, and religion are adopted one of your liking. We cannot force someone to adopt a thought out of obligation. Therefore, we propose that doctors, hospitals, and pharmacies have the right to open vaccine campaigns for those who wish. However, they cannot force others nor make propaganda or take away job opportunities to get vaccinated.
There are many religions that decided that decline the use of any type of medication, since there is a belief that the body is scared. And it should only be healed by God.
Our solution is that with the help of insurance, we will cover minor expenses. Besides, we are in favor of natural medicines and promote the use of it. With the help of media, we will stop the propaganda of any influential information.
Thank you, parents. Students, please establish your positions, your manifesto.
Due to our age, we are 15 years old and we can't do much because nobody would take us serious. But we think that using natural medicine is going to be the best way. Working with our parents who are responsible for our health and they want the best for us. They don't want us chemicals in our body.
They don't want that chemicals enter our body because of the age we have.
Thank you. Thank you, students. Okay, teachers, please establish your manifesto.
After this debate, we learned that everyone has different opinions about this topic, and they all have reasons why they think like this. But everyone should be conscious that they're putting other people in danger. We will work with government, doctors, and hospitals and pharmacies.
Government will provide us with books and guides for our health families. This class will be the first hour. Whoever doesn't want to get vaccinated can skip the class. Doctors, hospitals, and pharmacies will give us periodic information for this class. Once a year, there will be visits to the hospitals, and the hospital will come twice a year, every 6 months, to school to vaccinate our students.
Thank you, teachers. Hospitals, please establish your manifesto.
We as hospitals have come up to the conclusion that vaccines are one of the most helpful resources that we have.
And we propose as our final idea that we come to an agreement, all of us that are in favor of vaccinations. Schools will give information that is true in its research, and they will also come to hospitals to visit patients and doctors so they can see what the real risks are. Also, our doctors will have night shifts so you can go to them whenever you would like. They will not be the same doctors all day because they need rest, but they will be available all day. Also, we will have a pharmacy open all day inside of hospitals, and the government is going to help us finance some campaigns that are going to help us to explain why vaccines are helpful. Media is also going to promote veridic and true information because media is one of the most powerful tools we have today for information. Also, after hearing the point of view of our students, we will also have information about herbal medicine, their side effects too, because some of these can also cause some drug effects. So we will also have that and information about herbal drugs. Thank you.
Thank you, hospitals. Doctors, please establish your manifesto.
We stand by our position and think anti-vaxxers should be more informed about what it is and what is not in a vaccine. We could also work with others to help understand this and keep in mind the main point that is keeping everyone safe.
With every information we heard, we found out why people are scared of vaccines. One of the main reasons is because they are afraid of being infected by other diseases. But we can assure you that that information is completely false. Vaccines are really useful for our body and they are usually the best decision for our health. We want to show people the real information by working together with others. We have the government who will help us finance 2 to 4 campaigns each year. The pharmacies who will help us distribute the vaccines to everybody who wants to get vaccinated. The teachers who we will give them conferences for them to teach the students about vaccines. And the hospitals who we will help them to give night shifts for everyone who needs them. Besides, we have media, who is willing to help us spread general information about vaccines.
By saying this, we will not be violating any human rights because we will not be forcing anyone to get vaccinated. We will give them the chance to choose if they want to get vaccinated or not. Thank you.
Thank you, doctors. All right, insurance, please establish your manifesto.
We insurance companies strongly believe that people have the right to choose if they're getting the vaccine or not, without any punishment of liberty.
Our solution is we can help people with the cost of medicines and vaccines to help them with the financial cost. With this support we are given to them, they will be able to decide if they want to vaccinate or not.
Thank you, insurance. Media, please establish your manifesto.
As you have heard, many of our comrades and all these positions take us as the main defending of their information. During this debate, we have found various alternatives for medicines and for vaccines that can be used efficiently with them previously researched correctly.
With this debate, we have learned more alternatives to vaccines, and we are willing to help all the groups.
Thank you, media. Thank you, media. Pharmacies, please establish your manifesto.
Our conclusion to this debate is that the anti-vaxxer movement followers support the movement because they fear the side effects of vaccines. Anti-vaxxers also refuse to vaccinate because of religion. And they propose other alternatives for vaccines such as herb medicine.
We are against the anti-vaxxer movement because vaccines are our most effective tool for preventing diseases nowadays. By preventing diseases, most of them are now eradicated or rarely seen. Vaccines also prevent millions of deaths worldwide. They also stop massive spread of diseases.
As pharmacists, we believe that vaccines play an important role in our health. Since they were created, vaccines have shown that they are one of our most effective tools. We believe that everyone who wants to keep themselves safe and their families should be vaccinated. As our solution, we still plan to make free vaccination campaigns to all citizens, as well as the following.
We will work with teachers to educate students about vaccines.
We will work with media to provide the truth about vaccines and alternate medicine.
We will work with hospitals to open pharmacies that are open at all hours.
Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, pharmacists, and last but not least, government, please establish your manifesto.
Throughout this debate, we understood that it is necessary to give people the correct information and the opportunity to make a decision by themselves. This is why along teachers, doctors, hospitals, pharmacies, and social media, we want to provide people the right information for they to take a decision.
We also want to provide the appropriate conditions so that if people want, they can get vaccinated. But also we mean to dedicate some funds to research in alternative methods like herbal medicine or breastfeeding for those who don't want to get vaccinated. By doing this, we don't want to oppress the anti-vaxxers, but we want to give everyone the opportunity to make their own decision.
We plan to fund these campaigns by dedicating a part of the annual budget from the health sector to provide free vaccination. We also want to prevent the anti-vaxxer movement to become a social margination, because people who want to vaccinate and those who don't want to might start running into conflicts and differences.
Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. This wraps up the debate. Congratulations, delegates. You did a wonderful job. Thank you very much. Muy bien, muchas gracias, padres y familia. Con esto terminamos nuestro debate. Les paso a Miss Rosy. Muchas gracias, papás.
Buenos días. Wow, no sé si lo disfrutaron tanto como nosotros. Improvisar, aprender a manejar el nerviosismo, a investigar y hacer esos datos que estamos investigando propios, defender, aceptar mis puntos de vista, mis ideas, basados por supuesto en la investigación, en conocimiento científico, formular preguntas, respetar, llevar el orden, pero sobre todo poner en práctica todos y cada uno de los conocimientos adquiridos a lo largo de toda esta etapa. Y no solamente hablo de secundaria, hablo de preescolar, primaria, secundaria. De verdad, mi reconocimiento, admiración y respeto por cada uno de ustedes. Acá está la otra parte, chicos. Entraron a concurso, salieron estos chicos acá enfrente, pero están claro que acá hay gente que está atrás de ellos. De verdad me siento muy orgullosa tanto de los alumnos como de sus maestros. Muchas gracias por estar aquí, muchas gracias por invertir este tiempo. No saben lo que ellos lo aprecian. Gracias, papás. Gracias, chicos. Bonito día.
Aló, buenos días. Estamos muy contentos de haber podido realizar este debate porque hace muchos años queríamos que fuera como una práctica de lo que verdaderamente sucede en las Naciones Unidas y en otros debates alrededor del mundo. Este es un ejemplo de lo que participábamos en Londres. Todo lo que dice Miss Rosy, todo eso se desarrolla cuando uno prepara un debate. Y como ustedes pudieron ver, la manera en la que ellos ya en la parte que no está estudiada, cómo formulan, cómo practican, cómo hablan, cómo usan o cómo manifiestan la competencia del idioma. Entonces, este debate pues les deja mucho a los alumnos a cualquier nivel, pero ahorita yo sí quiero mencionarles a todos ustedes, primero que nada, felicidades por querer participar en este debate y la verdad que me han sorprendido mucho, estaba feliz, gozosa de verlos cómo se pueden expresar, cómo ellos incluso de pronto podían ser hasta agresivos con su pensamiento y decir, a ver, ¿y tú en qué te beneficias con esto? ¿O por qué quieres que los demás nos veamos afectados de determinada manera? Son muy fuertes las maneras en las que los jóvenes piensan y aparte lo expresan y lo expresan de manera educada. Entonces, la verdad nos deja mucho este debate, los felicito. Quiero que sepan que ellos participaron por gusto y es por eso que pues de entrada ya tienen todos un paso más, ¿no? Felicidades, no saben, estoy súper feliz de que esto se llevara a cabo. Vamos a decirles de una vez quiénes son los que ganaron, porque a la ceremonia de mañana vamos a entregar primero, segundo y tercer lugar y pues para que nada más vengan los papás de estos niños, les vamos a entregar un diploma y después vamos a tener una final. Bueno, porque estamos muy emocionados. En primer lugar, ganan los doctores. Muchas felicidades. Muy interesantes sus aportaciones, la manera en la que se expresan, el lenguaje, todo, la magnitud, the length de sus aportaciones también. En primer lugar los doctores, segundo lugar tenemos un empate con los papás y en los hospitales. Y el tercer lugar es para el gobierno. La verdad sí fue muy difícil y tuvimos que, como vieron, así como de pronto decir, ¿y qué opinas de esto y esto? Y es bien difícil cuando uno se emociona, de pronto no hacer caras, ¿no? Y hacer uno así, y ellos se dan cuenta, cuando nos gustaba algo, veían y nosotros teníamos que poner cara de no me emocione por su respuesta, por su pregunta, por la manera en la que se expresan, pero pues bueno, esas son los resultados. Vamos a tener una final con los equipos que ganaron, porque la verdad están muy fuertes y queremos prepararlos para lo que sigue. Bueno, todavía tenemos mucho tiempo, todavía nos queda un semestre y pues quien quite los llevamos a Nueva York, a Tucson, a Phoenix, a participar quien quite a Londres, ¿no? Todavía tenemos tiempo. Muchas felicidades y muchísimas gracias por venir, por acompañarnos. A todos los demás los invitamos a que también se preparen para esto. Sabemos que su clase pues les deja muchas enseñanzas, pero participar acá en este tipo de presentaciones pues nos deja aún otro nivel de competencia. Muchísimas gracias. Bonito día.